explaining what you did wrong. Okay, and this is for each problem. Obviously, only do the problems that you got incorrect, okay? If you got a problem right, you do not have to do any sort of corrections for it. This is only for problems that you did incorrectly. You also must have the correct work and answer. Because this quiz was your very first quiz, I'm going to give you 3/4 points back. That means if you got a 0 on it the first time, like if you actually tried it and got a 0, then you would get a 75. Okay. Or maybe if you got a 60 out of, it was out of 70 points. So maybe if you got a 60 out of 70 your first try, you missed 10 points here. So what I would do is I would take 10 points, multiply that by 3/4, and then add that to your score, which was a 60 out of 70. Okay, 10 times 3 is 30, and 30 divided by 4 is 7.5. So this would mean that you got a 67.5 instead of that 60. So your final grade would be a 67.5 out of 70. Okay, which is better than the 60. All right. So that is quiz correction. So you'll just do this on a separate sheet of paper, and then you will resubmit this to the same quiz assignment that you turned your quiz into initially. Okay, what questions do you guys have on quiz corrections before we move on? Oh my goodness, guys, I did not share my screen. Somebody should have told me. Let me share this so you guys can see. I wrote all of that down because that would have been a ton to try to listen to and write down. Hold on. Okay, so I have Jordan coming in. Okay, so here is the little section on quiz corrections. Okay. All right, so 1 sentence in words explaining what you did wrong for each problem. Correct work and answer for each problem you got wrong. This normally I only do half points back, but since this is your first quiz, I'm doing 3/4 points back. Okay, which means if you got a 60 out of 70, you have 10 points that you missed. So you get 3/4 of those back, which is 7.5 points. So your total will be a 67.5 out of 70 instead of that 60 out of 70. Okay. What questions do you guys have on quiz corrections before we start the warm-up? Y'all, I really need you to ask some questions, participate. I'm very concerned about your class. These grades count, okay? So you guys need to be invested in your grades. Okay, so these are your quiz corrections. This is how you do them. All right, so I expect to see those start coming in from the 3 of you that did your quiz. The rest of you need to actually go back and take the quiz, okay? Please read all of the instructions thoroughly and make sure that you take it, okay? Even if you do poorly, just try it, okay? Because as I said, if you got a 0 on this, and then did all of the corrections perfectly, that would move you up to a 75%. Okay, so that is very good. All right, so even if you bomb it, if you feel like you barely did anything, you would still be able to get a pretty decent grade. Okay, something above a 75. So I need you all to do that. And now we'll go ahead and start with the warm up. Are there any last questions on quizzes or quiz corrections? If you just came in, I will post this recording so you'll be able to go back and see all of this. These are quiz corrections for your quiz on functions. And also, if you just came in, please make sure you send me a message after class reminding, or stay after class for a second, reminding me to update your attendance. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do a warm-up together. Okay, so this is a warm-up for 9/28/20. Okay, and I asked you guys to evaluate these 4 expressions. So for A, we have 2 cubed. For B, we have 10 squared. For C, we have 3 times 2 squared. And for D, we have -2 times 4 squared. I saw a lot of mistakes with these on your quiz, so these are important. Stephanie, are you here now? Deborah wasn't here. Olivia wasn't here. Jarrell, are you here? Jarrell? Okay. Katie?
Yes.
Okay, can you pick one and do it for me? Actually, I want you to do C or D. Will you pick one of those two?
Okay, yeah, I'll do C.
Okay, so for C, the first thing I want you to do is just square the 2. What's 2 squared?
4.
Good. And then what's 3 times 4?
12.
Perfect. All right, that's it. That's all you had to do. Thank you. Jordan Warren? Jordan? I thought I saw you come in today. All right, I'm going to put you in the absent pile. Tyrell, if you could send me the solution to A, that would be great. Amar. Amar, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, will you pick B or D to do with us? Let me let somebody in real quick. Okay, so B or D?
B.
All right, so what 10 squared is the same thing as 10 times 10. Can you tell me what 10 times 10 is?
20.
Nope, that's adding or multiplying.
10 times 10.
Yes.
100.
Very good, perfect. All right, and Tyrell messaged back and he said 2 cubed is 8, so let's check him. 2 times 2 times 2 is 2 cubed, okay? So let's just break this down. 2 times 2 is 4, so we have one of these that's a 4. And then the other one's still a 2, and 4 times 2 is indeed 8. Okay, so thank you, Tyrell, Amar, and Katie. All right, and then let's see. Regina, are you here?
Yes.
All right, Regina, will you do this last one with me?
Sure.
So we have -2 first, and then what's 4 times, and then what does 4 squared represent?
4, 4, and then the 2 times, which is 4. 4 2 times?
Yeah, 4 2 times. So 4 times 4. Good. And then what's -2 times 4?
Is it -8 or
Yes.
is it +8?
It's negative. You're correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what's -8 times +4?
-8 times +4?
Mm-hmm.
Is negative.
Yeah, it is negative. And you may have said that.
Is it 32?
Yeah, perfect. It's -32. Very good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys very much. That was perfect. All right. So make sure you have this warm-up written down on your sheet. How many warm-ups do we have now? 8 on the sheet. Katie, will you tell me how many warm-ups we've done total?
This is our 7th one.
Okay, so this is our 7th warm-up. So we have 3 more to go, and then y'all will turn these in. So please make sure that you are keeping track of them, okay? Because it would be really hard or obnoxious to go back through the last 10 videos and try to get all the warm-ups. Okay, so that was our warm-up for today. So now I'm going to expand this out. So today we are having a bit of a chill day in terms of assignments. You do not have classwork today, and you do not have homework today. Today, and I'm actually going to show you real quick, make sure that we get it all together. Today, we are doing a little mini lesson on properties of exponents, which goes along with our warm-up that we did. We're doing a Skittles activity. It would be way more fun to do together in class, but I want to at least show you because it's a little bit engaging for exponential functions. Then for your asynchronous time, you are going to be taking your Unit 1 test and making sure that you've completed your Unit 1 assignments that are still open, okay? Because you are working on this test and your Unit 1 assignments, there will be no homework today, just these two things. I will post, I'm almost done with the solutions for the review, and I will post them. So if you want to wait to take your test until I have posted solutions, that's totally fine, okay? What questions do you have about the expectations for today? Okay, there are no questions. We're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so feel free to write this out on notebook paper, or if you want to print it, it is posted in Canvas. Okay, so we're talking about exponential functions. So you guys need to be really good at working with exponents, okay? So let's see, this is third period, and this is 9, 28, okay? All right, so we're asking the question, what does an exponent do? So an exponent tells you to multiply a number with itself, okay, a certain number of times. So the number of times that you do it is going to correspond to the number in the superscript, the tiny number up top, and the number you're multiplying is the number in the base, okay? So 3 squared, let's see, Marquez, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so how would I rewrite 3 squared as a product, as a multiplication between two numbers?
3 times 3.
Perfect. And what should I get when I multiply 3 times 3?
9.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Marquez. Lizbeth, are you there?
Yes.
So how do we rewrite 3 cubed as a multiplication of numbers? What is 3 cubed? Lizbeth, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the base of this? What's the big number?
3.
Yeah, so we're going to put 3 here. And then what's the number in the exponent, the tiny number?
3.
Yeah, so that means I'm going to take 3 and multiply it 3 times. Now, what's 3 times 3 times 3?
3.
So we can just do it a section at a time. 3 times 3 was?
27.
Oh, yes, good. The total is 27. Perfect, Lisbeth. Thank you. Okay, and then Jamie, are you there?
Yeah.
Can you do 2 to the 5th for me?
Yeah. Is that a 5?
Yeah, it is a 5. Good question.
16. 2 times 2, 5 times.
Yeah, good. And then what's the result of that?
32.
Yeah, perfect. Good job, Jamie. All right. So now, what if the exponent is a 1? Okay, that's the question. So a number to the first power is itself. Okay, so this should be pretty straightforward. All right, so I'll do the first one for you. 3 to the first power should be 3. Okay, you should get the same result. Jonathan.